Hi everyone, I'm Pat Prokop out here in the heavenly backyard garden. Now I've been doing a lot of work in the garden. It's not springtime yet, but it's been warming up and the garden is coming alive, and I've been doing a lot of work out here. But also we had a couple clear nights, and my goal was to test the 11-inch Celestron Edge telescope with the StarSense Autoguider and to see if it would work through N.I.N.A, particularly changing targets, if the Autoguider would continue guiding after changing targets. And the test I used was, I started with the Crab Nebula, and I was taking images with the Crab Nebula, and then the Sunflower Galaxy. So going from the Crab Nebula to the Sunflower Galaxy, which is on the other side of the sky, see how well N.I.N.A and CPWI and the StarSense Autoguider work together. Did it work? Well, let's take a look. So one of the first things I like to do is make sure I have the latest firmware. So I go into the CFM, the Celestron Firmware Manager, and make sure all my equipment is connected, and then run the manager. And we're doing that right now. And it's checking to see what's out there, and checking for the devices and so forth. And it's going to scan all the different COM ports and see what devices are available. And then it will update the firmware if the firmware needs updating. And here we go. All right, it's ready to update, so let's do that. Let's run the update, and got 11 packages to update, so it's going to update those packages. It doesn't mean the packages weren't updated, it's just loading in the latest firmware that's available, and it's doing that right now. So when it's finished, I'll be right back. All right, the Firmware Manager is done updating. Now, if you want to know more about how to operate Celestron Firmware Manager on your computer and making sure you have Java loaded on your computer, here's the video that I just made, my last video about this, you can watch right there. Also, I'll have a link to that in the description area below. So from there, we can close this out right now. And again, I'm looking through the microphone. Let's open up CPWI and load in the equipment. And the version I'm running now in CPWI is 2.5.5. And if that version is not your version, it will tell you that there is a updated version. And I highly recommend that you update to the latest version available. Okay, so everything is here on the CPWI. And I want to load in the telescope. And I'm just going to use a quick align. Now I could use the StarSense alignment, but when I'm using N.I.N.A, this is really not necessary. As long as it's anywhere close to polar alignment and pointing in that direction at startup, which the quick align will do, N.I.N.A will find your targets for you. If you're not using N.I.N.A and you want to use just the CPWI, then I would highly recommend using the StarSense alignment, which will use 4 points to align the heavenly skies and adjust for your mount. All right, so begin alignment, and I'm ready. So it's going to home in on the home switches. I have the CGX mount, so it's going to home in on the home switches, and from there it's ready. So then I can look at the StarSense Autoguider, and right there I got the guiding enabled. I'll click that on later, but guiding always on, you want to have that click to on. PHD to server, click that on, but precise go to, turn that off if you're going to be using N.I.N.A. And then from there, you can load in your other equipment right over here in setting, connect focuser, and connect the dew heater. And these will all be connected through CPWI. All right, the next phase is to go into N.I.N.A. And over here, I have N.I.N.A loading in. There are different versions of N.I.N.A. I'm using the beta version, but all the versions are the same, basically. I mean, there's a little bit difference in the beta versions, but basically they're the same. And you can use either the basic sequencer or the advanced sequencer to work this through CPWI. They both work just fine. All right, the next thing I want to do is load in the equipment. I have no, my camera's not connected because I'm cheating right now. This is daytime. I already did the recordings last night, but I wanted to show you this. So there'd be no camera, and it would be the the Player One Poseidon M camera. It's a monochrome camera, beautiful camera. Excuse me. I can load in the focuser right there. Connect. It's the CPWI focuser. Let me disconnect it and show you something real quickly just to make sure. You have the options on focusers and all the different focusers that are available that you have loaded up into your system. I have the Pegasus focuser on other cameras or other scopes as well, so that's why those are in there. And I have the Celestron focus driver, which you really don't want to use. You want to use the CPWI focuser, and just click on that and then connect, and it'll connect right to it as long as you have it open in CPWI. That's important. Okay, and then for the telescope, again, you have the different options. You have the Celestron telescope driver. You don't need that, or really you don't want to use that. You want to use CPWI once again, and just click on that if it's not already clicked, and connect. And the telescope is connected. Now everything is running through N.I.N.A. For the guider, you want to use direct guider right here, not PhD2. Use the direct guider, and that way N.I.N.A will be able to dither during the nighttime hours. I always like to dither every 3 frames. So, okay, and then everything else is non-connected. All right, so from there you just go into the sequence, and let's get going. So let's take a look at the observation from last night. All right, let's take a look at the N.I.N.A right now, and this is the Crab Nebula on the Celestron. I'm taking it on 2 telescopes, the Celestron and also on the N.I.N.A, but I'm more concerned with the Celestron. The N.I.N.A just for comparison from a short focal length versus a long focal length. All right, let's take a look at the conditions right now. I have the guiding enabled, guiding always on, and the PhD2 server on, but the other precise go-to and auto meridian flip are turned off. That's important if you're going to be using N.I.N.A with the StarSense Autoguider. Well, while I'm at it, looking at the dew heater ring and the power supply hub, it gives you the information, what's going on, the power outages, outputs, and so forth with the system. Outside temperature 43 degrees. Okay, it's a little chilly out there, but that's not too bad. All right, let's take a look once again at the live view. You can view the live view, but I notice when I click on the live view here, I lose the tracking. The tracking stops. So that's something to keep an eye on. At least when I show it, the tracking stops. All right. Now to get the tracking on, I kind of like do a force tracking. So I'll disengage guiding and then enable it once again. So turn it off and turn it back on. All right, let's see if the guiding picks up now. I think it will. It should. It better. There it goes. Now we're guiding again. I got a feeling this image is going to be corrupt because I wasn't guiding there for a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on that, but I'm pretty sure this image is going to be corrupt. We'll see in a few minutes or a few seconds. There it's guiding once again. That's going to stabilize and then continue some decent guiding for the hopefully the rest of the evening. Looking at the sequence, I got it in the advanced sequencer right now, and I'm using the red, actually the hydrogen alpha, the green, the blue, and the red filters. And they're the Agnea filters, which I'm very impressed with right now. Now, here's the test that I'm really after. Will it do the auto meridian flip, or will it change targets and not have to worry about the guiding going off or turning back on, or will it work? So that's what this test is all about. Will the guiding work through N.I.N.A when I change targets or when I go through a meridian flip? Here's the new target. I'm going off the Crab Nebula to the Sunflower Galaxy, Messier 63. And I have N.I.N.A scheduled to do this automatically. And supposedly, I should be able to do this and not touch the controls whatsoever. I can even be asleep during the night and have this system work. That's the idea. So we're going to see if it works tonight. All right, there's by the way, a picture of the hydrogen alpha. We're coming up to the new image that we just where the guiding stopped. Let's see how well it did. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's corrupt, as you can see right here. I'm on the red filter right now. There you can see right there, the red filter. I still got one more or two more images to go before N.I.N.A. Yeah, there you go. See, it was bad. Well, we knew that. We knew the tracking was off because I looked at the live view. Apparently, you can't look at the live view and the tracking at the same time. All right. Anyway, I got one more image to go before N.I.N.A. goes to the next target, off the Crab Nebula over into the M63 or the Sunflower Galaxy. And looking at N.I.N.A., once again, it's tracking just fine right now. So we'll see what happens. Stand by. While I'm at it, here's telescope number 2, the Orion Eon 130 millimeter refractor. And it's on, again, telescope number 2. I got that working at the same time. I just came off the Crab Nebula, and right now I'm on the Sunflower. This telescope's got a little bit of a different angle of the trees, so it clears the trees sooner than the Celestron does. Anyway, there's the Crab Nebula, a view earlier from the enhanced the Optolong L enhanced filter. There's the L ultimate filter. All right, I'm going to combine these two filters at the end, and I'll be showing you those in just a bit, the combination of the two of these filters in Pixinsight. All right, there we are back in live view of the, well, semi-live, of the Sunflower Galaxy through the Eon. All right. And here I'm using the two filters. Well, the Pro, now I'm using the Pro and the Quad, the Optolong L Pro and the L Quad for the Sunflower Galaxy. The Pro and the Quad are very good for galaxies. The Enhanced and the Ultimate and the Extreme, which I don't have the Extreme, very good for nebulosity. All right. Looking at the sky, or let's go back to the image rather. Looking at the image, there it is, the live image of the Sunflower Galaxy. And we're on the Pro filter right now, the Optolong L Pro filter. All right, let's go back to telescope number 1, the Celestron 11-inch Edge HD. Here we are on the red filter. It looks a touch fuzzy, but the focus is very difficult to focus sharply with this telescope. But the guiding it's back, and it's not too bad. Between 1.5 minus 1.5, mostly plus or minus within the 1 pixel. So I'm pretty happy about that so far. Quite a bit of stars up there in the sky straight overhead. Where are we here? We're coming up to the end of this sequence, and then it'll be going over to the next target. All right, N.I.N.A. is now in the process of changing targets. Now, the first thing I do in N.I.N.A. when I change targets is I change the filter back to the luminance filter, because the plate solves much better with the luminance filter versus a color filter or even a narrowband filter. I always put it on a luminance filter to help with the plate solving. Does a much better job plate solving with extra light coming in. And there's the different filters that I have going right now on this filter wheel. And you can also set the exposure time per filter on the when you're doing a autofocus. So with the HA and the S2, I have it at 6 seconds. For the O3, I have it at 4, and the other RGB filters at 4 seconds. And luminance, I only have it at 3-second exposure time. And I can also adjust the gain and so forth. Anyway, it's going through the autofocus now and getting ready to slew to the new target. And that's where the big test is going to be. Will it make it through the target? And will CPWI and SSAG, or the StarSense Autoguider, continue to work? Now, supposedly, I have no hands on the computer. I'm letting all the computers take care of themselves. That's the test. So I could actually be sleeping right now, and hopefully that's the idea. I can do this during the night, change targets, and still have the StarSense Autoguider continue to guide. All right, let's finish up this autofocus here, and I'll come right back at you. All right, focusing is done, and now the telescope is slewing to the new target. All right, this is all in N.I.N.A at the moment. The question is, will CPWI and the StarSense Autoguider do its part? Well, we'll take a look. All right, let's go to CPWI and the StarSense Autoguider, and see, now it turned the guiding off, but guiding continues always on, and the PhD2 is always on. Again, I didn't touch anything. This is all automatic. There's the last picture of the Crab Nebula. Now we're going to the first position of the slew, and it's off target. It didn't see the galaxy. So N.I.N.A is re-slewing to the target, synchronizing to the target. Let's see if it finds it on the second try here. All right, let's see if it comes in. Here's the new position, and there it is. Right smack dab in the middle of the picture, just exactly where I wanted. That's the Sunflower Galaxy. All right, so it slewed and centered the target. The question is, will it be guiding? And now it's exposing on a 3-minute exposure, 180 seconds, and sure enough, look at that. The guiding has started automatically. Untouched by human hands, it has taken off. So it is working wonderful now in N.I.N.A. So CPWI and the StarSense Autoguider and N.I.N.A are all working well together. I'm using CPWI version 2.55, the latest updated version of CPWI. All right, it looks good. Let's wait for the final first image to come in, and then we'll close it up from there. All right, let's take a look at the new image. Looks pretty good. Stars are mostly round, close, very close. That's the Sunflower Galaxy in the red light right there. All right, let's take a look at the processed images, and let's go on from there. Okay, let's take a look at some of the raw images. First of all, the Crab Nebula from the Celestron 11-inch telescope using the SSAG, the StarSense Autoguider. Here's the raw image that came in on that, and zooming in. It's pretty good. This is a stacked image over, I think it was an hour and a half worth of data, an hour worth of data. And this is the actual raw data. Then I passed it through Blur Exterminator, and this is, it's amazing what Blur Exterminator will do, but look how clean that is. This is from the Celestron, and that's the red channel. Let's take a look at the HA in the red light. The HA shows a lot of information coming in on the Crab Nebula. So if you're going to be shooting the Crab Nebula, if you have a RGB plus a hydrogen alpha, you might want to try adding those two together. Now I'm going to show you a copy of that in just a minute. But anyway, again, zooming in on this, there's the raw image right there from the StarSense Autoguider, and it's doable, it's workable. I mean, that's good, but the stars are a bit fuzzy. But what happens after you pass it through the Blur Exterminator? Watch what happens. Wow. I mean, look how clean that is, and it's all the way out to the corners as well. Very, very clean. There you can see how clean those stars up in the upper left-hand corner, nice and round, and to the right-hand corner. I had the 0.7x reducer on there, and sometimes those edge stars are egg or oblong, and these are round, so it's really nice. Well, let's just take a look. Let me turn off the Blur Exterminator. Yeah, see the stars, how they're a little egg-shaped and so forth. But that Blur Exterminator really does a good job. But this video is not about Blur Exterminator. Let's close these out and go into the combination of the RGB. Now, I did a video on how to combine these images together, and if you want to see that video, I have the video link right over here, or again, it'll be in my description below how I process video here in Pixinsight. Anyway, there's the Crab Nebula, the final RGB image after I processed it and went in through a lot of the Pixinsight and also the Photoshop. And there's the RGB. I want to show you the RGB plus the HA added to it, which you can also do here in Pixinsight. And there's the added difference. You can see more red, obviously, because there was a lot more red signal coming in from the HA, and this is from the Celestron 11-inch using the StarSense Autoguider. Look how clean those stars are. I mean, I'm impressed. All right. That's the Crab Nebula, but the test was not to see how well the nebula would look like. The test would, how would the telescope respond to going from this target over to the Sunflower Galaxy target, and would the StarSense Autoguider work? We just saw it did, but let's take a look at the final images. First of all, let's close this up right over here. This right here is the image from the N.I.N.A of the Sunflower Galaxy. As you can see, it's rather small looking through the N.I.N.A, but it's a good picture. I mean, I can zoom in on that, and you can see the structure of the galaxy and so forth. But let's do this. Let's take a look at the image from the Celestron 11-inch using the StarSense Autoguider. This is the image here, and look how clean that is. And here's the image of the same caliber from the N.I.N.A. Zoomed in on that other picture, and you can see the difference. It's much cleaner in the 11-inch versus the 5-inch or the 130 millimeter. So yeah, it's very clean on the Celestron 11-inch telescope. There's the full view right there. That in itself is a pretty nice looking picture. That's about 2.5. No, this is a 7-hour exposure here. I got 7 hours of data on this image right here. All right, I did that. We talked about the Crab Nebula. I also did the Crab Nebula with the two different filters on the N.I.N.A Orion telescope. I used the L-Enhance and the L-Ultimate. And here's the L-Enhance with the filter on the N.I.N.A, and here it is in the Ultimate. It's more the HA with the other colors being filtered out, as you can see the difference. Then I just combined the two together in Pixinsight and came up with this image here. This is the combined image of this one plus this one. Actually half of this and half of that, and just add it together in Pixinsight, but in Pixel Math. But there you can see the Crab Nebula. Let's just look at the comparison with the Celestron. There you can see it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean. Look at that. That's a nice picture there. So this was LRGB, and this was the Optolong Enhanced filter and the Ultimate filter. So yeah. Nice imagery. Okay, let's go back outside. One of the things I want to try next is using the off-axis guider and to see the comparison between using the off-axis guider and the StarSense Autoguider. See which one is better or worse, or are they both the same? So if I'm using the Hyperstar, which goes on the front of the telescope, you cannot use a off-axis guider. You got to use a different guiding, hence the StarSense Autoguider will work for that just fine. And I'll be doing some tests of that coming up pretty soon, but I'm pretty sure that's going to work pretty good, because it's working pretty good at f7 and f10. So we'll keep an eye on that. So I hope you found some value in this video. And if you like the video, please hit the like button below. If you have any comments, please comment as well. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I do a lot from the heavenly backyard garden with my astronomy. Not only this telescope, I also have the other telescope, the Orion Eon 130 millimeter telescope, and I also have a wider field view telescope, the Orion ED80, which I have that set down to f4.5. So I get some wide field of views with that. And remember, the heavens are filled with majestic wonders, and we're coming into galaxy season, and there's tons of galaxies out there. And you just think about it. Each galaxy contains, on the average, about 200 billion stars. There are several galaxies out there that are containing over 1 trillion stars, and they're all up in the sky near you. So unless you need rain, clear skies, everyone.